Iceland also found its independence at this exact location.
Oh my god, look at the color of the water.
Today we are doing the Golden Circle. It's a lot of activities in a day, honestly, because we're going to be covering 6 places overall and then ending the day with the geothermal spring called Sky Lagoon. We are really excited about it because these are things that people actually do. It's the touristy places. We kind of kept that to the last because we wanted to keep the geothermal spring at the end. It's day 6 in Iceland. I mean, we're leaving tomorrow afternoon, so kind of sad about that, but really happy for all the memories we made because honestly it's been the best trip I've ever taken. I got to see the northern lights yesterday night, which was out of this world. Like it was a surreal experience. A friend of mine who's a professional photographer, Ashwin, his name is Ashwin Krasta, he actually got a whole time lapse of the northern lights. It started around 11 p.m, went on until almost in the morning, which is really cool. I don't want this day to end. I want it to last for a little longer. And we are at the first place, which is called Kerið crater. This is how it looks.
This is Kerið, also called the Blue Eye of Iceland, and it was formed somewhere between 3000 to 6500 years ago. Wow. Most scientists believe this used to be a volcano until it erupted, ran out of magma and collapsed into itself. And now it's this insane aquamarine crater lake. We were at the Kerið crater for just 5 minutes. I mean, it's nice to look at, but I don't think it's worth the $5 entry that we ended up paying for each person. Probably a good summer thing because you get to see the crater with blue water, but right now the water was frozen, so... Okay, we're at the second point in the Golden Circle, which is the Þingvellir National Park. It's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A lot of places in Iceland is. And I can actually see the falls right in front of me right now. I'm going to show you the view in a second. But this is also one of the places where Game of Thrones was shot, in the Þingvellir National Park. It's really huge. Obviously, we're not going to be covering everything inside the park, but we're going to do the falls because that's one of the landmark destinations. And around it, there's like a canyon, which is beautiful as well. So we're going to cover a little bit of that. A very interesting thing that I learned about Þingvellir National Park is this is actually the point where Iceland became independent from Denmark. This is the location where it actually became independent. So this is the location from where it all started. Let me show you the view of the falls from really far, and that's where we are going to go in a bit. So we're going to take a walk all the way up there. Really far away. I hope you can. I'm going to try zooming into it so that you can. But yeah, that's where we are going now. We're going to be walking all the way there. Mountains and mountains and mountains. These are the washrooms here. Yeah. Washroom is the view. This is the inside view from washrooms. Yeah. The whole national park has a few viewpoints. Everything within like a 1 kilometer radius. We're doing the first one now. I think this is the one that leads to the canyon. But yeah, we got to see that. Look at this view. Welcome to Þingvellir National Park. It's one of the only places in the world where you can literally walk between 2 tectonic plates, the North American plate and the Eurasian plate. The tectonic plates here are slowly drifting apart around 2 centimeters every year, which is why the landscape looks cracked and dramatic. This is actually one of the only places on Earth where you can literally stand between 2 continents. Thingvellir is a UNESCO World Heritage Site because it's also where Iceland's first parliament, the Althing, was established in 930 AD. making it one of the oldest parliaments in the world. I want to just look at that. Oh my god. Oh my god, this looks so cool. We did one of the first viewpoints. Now we are actually going to do the Öxarárfoss waterfall, which is one of the landmark destinations here. Reach the Öxarárfoss. Look at all these black rocks everywhere. It looks so cool. The lava rocks surrounding the waterfall were formed by volcanic eruptions thousands of years ago. These falls sit right between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, which is why the cliffs around it look so dramatic. Look at they're all there. We're at the third location now in the Golden Circle, which is the Geysir. The entrance itself looks so smoky. Look at that. Let's go closer and see how it looks. It says 80 to 100 degrees here. So the first one is the one with 80 to 100 degrees Celsius, and look at this. It's like fuming. If you're wondering what a geyser actually is, it's basically when underground water gets heated by magma beneath the Earth's surface until the pressure builds up so much that it literally explodes out of the ground. Which means Iceland casually has the Earth boiling underneath it at all times. And this area here is called Geyser, the place the actual word geyser came from. So every geyser around the world is basically named after this place. This one here is the Stoker Geyser. That's the one that's like the largest one here, I think. Wow! Whoa! Wow! Look at this. What are you having? That's pistachio.
No,
Then?
it's not the licorice.
Icelandic? Licorice? Feral got chocolate, that's his favorite. Gulliver almond. That's something else. At Gullfoss right now. It's a 30-minute walk to see the lookout, so we're going there right now. This is our last but one stop before we actually go to the thermal spring, geothermal spring at Secret Lagoon. Ooh, why is it colder here? Because of the open. This
no sun evening.
You know what this feels like? Our volcano trek, but it has a pavement in between, but also less volcano rocks around. But it's also very windy and it's making me cold.
Yeah, on the other side, the water.
Yeah, it looks really
Oh my
good.
god, look at the color of the water. man.
Beautiful.
Green, blue.
Beautiful.
So we've been doing a lot of the golden circle points today, and honestly it's been so underwhelming. I mean, I think that everyone wants to go to the golden circle, but honestly the last few days we've seen such great places. The golden circle is not worth it. It's overrated, it's commercialized, and it's not just worth the view that we received. My friend literally said, this is not a golden circle, it's the bronze circle. That's how we felt about the whole experience of doing the golden circle. But what I did find, we found another spot, and this viewpoint looks amazing. Look at this. We were crossing the bridge there and found this spot, and it honestly looks so beautiful. The water is so blue and just so amazing to look at. That water.
It's not
Oh
listed,
my god.
but it's so good. It's
Honestly,
so good.
so much better than the golden circle.
Yeah.
I would say skip the golden circle. Just come here. Honestly, look at this view. Wow. 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 Oh my god. Oh.
This insanely bright blue glacial water at Brúarhlöð comes from fine minerals and sediment carried by Icelandic glacier meltwater. The watercolor looks almost unreal in person because the light reflects off the glacial particles suspended in the water. Okay, now I'll tell you why the thermal spring was a lie. We wanted to do the secret lagoon, but after having such a disappointing time in the golden circle, we just didn't want to continue further, and we thought we'll wrap up for the day, have some fun with our friends in the Airbnb. We picked up some wine and beer from Vinbudin. That's like the Icelandic alcohol store. Most of our days in Iceland, we actually did grocery and did dinners at home. We also would prep our breakfast at night and keep it ready for next day. Lunch is the only thing where we would explore and try something in Iceland. Iceland is really expensive for food, so each meal would easily cost us $250 to $300.
Last day in Reykjavik. We're leaving this afternoon. Had a really good stay at this B&B. Going to miss it. Going to miss this place.
On the way back, we went to Reykjavik and picked up some souvenirs in the city. There was a really beautiful thrift store there where we picked up our Reykjavik sweaters, because when you get sweaters from other places, souvenir shops, it's really expensive. I learned from the locals that the thrift stores are the best place to buy it.
In our flight to Toronto, we just wake up and go to the airport day. We got up early today, went to Reykjavik to get something from a thrift store. We got some Icelandic sweaters there. We already shopped for souvenirs earlier, so we didn't have to do that. And we then headed to the Keflavik airport. We did shop duty free in the airport, which is great. We did end up getting some vodka because we also shopped for chocolates. Got the lava salt, which is the Icelandic lava salt. Oh yeah, I also got Blue Lagoon skincare because we couldn't go to Blue Lagoon, so I wanted to try something from there instead. But it's been an amazing trip. Sad to go back and live everyday life. I'm just thankful for all the good times, thankful for an amazing 7 days in Iceland. Now back to regular life.
With the blinds open, we ask passengers to remain in their side seats as much as possible during the flight with their seatbelt fastened. Electronic devices.
And that brings us to the end of our Iceland travel. Thank you so much for tagging along and seeing what we did. I know it took me a long time to actually put all this up, but there's so much more travel content I have to share.
Recording! Mountains and mountains and mountains. Mountains and mountains and mountains. You can't stand it. Oh. How do we